Mother's Day, we often want to treat mom, right?
Hello.
I'd rather us not make this.
We'll talk about our friend here in a minute.
You want to dote on mom from the moment that she wakes up. Thank you so much. But, you know, I'm sure we would all agree that moms need to do a little more for themselves and not just one day a year.
No, we are talking about self-care. This is very important, and this is helping to make sure that moms stay healthy and strong for those little ones, right? And our next guest says that well-being should start in a place you may not expect. So we welcome, this is all going to come together now, our holistic expert and owner of Healing Insight, Senya May, and her friend. Hi, Senya. It's so nice to see you.
We will get to your friend in a moment, but you have some fabulous news. Speaking of Mother's Day,
I do.
You are a mom.
I am a mom. I am.
Fantastic.
So exciting.
Tell us about your baby.
Yes, so baby Vincent, we just adopted him. He was born in February, and the adoption was finalized yesterday.
I mean,
so he's officially my son.
I just could not be happier for you. I mean, this is just so incredible. And Senya, you should know, I mean, Senya spends her life's mission is to help people and help people even with things like fertility. And it was something that you really struggled with personally.
Absolutely.
And so getting to be able to have this baby boy come into your life is so special. We're so happy
it really
for you.
is. Thank you.
So let's talk about that F word there, fertility. That means a lot to a lot of people. A lot of people have struggles with that. How does acupuncture help with that?
So acupuncture is really wonderful for helping with fertility because it can help to regulate your menstrual cycle, and it can increase blood flow to your uterus and your ovaries and just increase your fertility.
I mean, I have several friends who have struggled with fertility and then gone to acupuncture, and they are, including one who's pregnant right now.
Really?
Pregnant.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Really?
Yes.
It's just those little subtle differences. Is that what happens?
Yes, and when you increase that blood flow, it helps to just it helps to increase like your endometrial lining, so that you can, you know, like you have better implantation if you do get pregnant.
Wow. Yeah.
It can help if you're older and you're having trouble with like if your ovaries aren't producing great eggs. It can help to boost the strength of those. I mean, it's really.
So do you think
really
regardless
wonderful.
of if you're struggling with infertility or not, is it worthwhile to go to seek acupuncture when you just decide we want to try to get pregnant?
Absolutely. I get that question a lot because, you know, women, they want to be as strong as possible, as healthy as possible going into pregnancy. It's wonderful to do it to prepare your body for pregnancy.
Yeah.
And when you're trying to get pregnant, maybe you've only been trying for a month or two, you want to make sure it happens as smoothly as possible.
Oh, there.
What
There's
about
the
when you are pregnant too? I mean, this is Elizabeth. You're with child in this photo?
Yes,
Okay,
I definitely was. And I went to see Senya before I was pregnant with this child for that same reason. But pregnancy and acupuncture can be really helpful because when you're pregnant, you can't, there's like a lot of drugs and things you can't do.
There's so few things you can take.
So what sort of pregnancy symptoms, I guess I would call them, can acupuncture help with?
Well, there's the big one, morning sickness. Right, that's a huge one. Reflux as well, especially in the early stages of pregnancy. And then all those aches and pains. I mean, your belly's getting bigger, your body is trying to adjust, and like, you know, your hips are tight, your shoulders are tight. Like, it can help with all of those symptoms.
You're speaking my language. I'm getting in the chair.
Down into the chair here, sister.
This is what we need. So are you going to show us some particular points for nausea?
Yes.
I'm not really feeling nauseous.
Do you feel okay, Elizabeth, to do this right now?
Yes,
I'm checking
I trust Senya with my life. Yes,
right.
100%. Okay,
I
so where are
find
we
this
going to
so
put these?
exhilarating when you get these little needles out.
Oh yeah, this doesn't bother me one bit. So what are the points here that you're going to hit, Senya?
So this point is called P6, and it's a point that we use a lot for nausea of all sorts. So it can be used for like chemotherapy-induced nausea. It can be used for morning sickness. It can just be used for people who, you know, they're nauseous and they don't really know why. But it's wonderful to use it for pregnancy because it's very gentle and it's very safe.
Okay, and if you've never seen acupuncture before too, as you see the needles that are in Elizabeth's wrist, I'll let Elizabeth answer this question, does that hurt?
No, I didn't even feel a single thing.
Okay.
I don't feel any. That being said, I have had acupuncture where I have felt points. And it's more like a little bit of pressure and generally those are points that looks like, wow, kapow, we got to work on something.
Right, like I need this point to be stimulated.
Yeah, but it's never like a pain thing. There are some points, Senya, that's really interesting that you talk about in pregnancy that you really want to avoid. There are areas that you have to be careful about. So which spots do you want to not hit with an acupuncture needle?
So there are points that can stimulate the uterus to cause contractions.
So you want that on your due date. You don't want it before.
No,
we don't want that the first 40 weeks of your pregnancy for sure. And there's a point here on your thumb that we want to avoid. On your ankle there's one as well. And then also actually up here in the top of your shoulder. That
Really?
point can help to stimulate uterine
That's
contractions.
so bizarre that although just like thinking from a north-south perspective here, so far away from the uterus that could affect what's happening downstairs. Why? Am I right?
Because is it all connected? I mean, what's happening then where you're stimulating that point, and how does that affect your uterus?
That was what I was
Right.
trying to ask.
Gotcha.
In a roundabout way. So this point up here helps to send everything downward in your body. And so when you press on it, it can cause the energy in your uterus to go downward. So that
Wow.
can cause contractions.
Fascinating.
So, and massage therapists know this as well. Like, you stay away from that area if you're getting like a prenatal massage.
Yes.
I'm curious about this. Whether you are preggo or you've got a couple of kids already, sleep is an issue for moms. They don't get much of it. They don't get good deep rest.
Right.
Where would you be putting these acupuncture needles to help them sleep better?
So sleep is such a key thing because you need to get a lot of rest before this baby comes, because you're not going to get sleep once
Don't
he
tell
or
her
she
that.
comes.
Thanks for the reminder, Senya.
Yes, well, I just got through that, so I know all about it. So there's a couple points that we can do that help with sleep. There's one here on the wrist that's really, really calming.
Oh boy, look at that. So close together, doing totally
So close
different
together.
things.
Well, interestingly enough, the nausea point also helps with sleep.
Oh, is that
So
right?
it calms your stomach down and it calms your heart down.
Oh, wow.
So they're
Yeah.
working together. Now, okay, so
Right.
if I was in your office and I was getting this done, you would do
Yes.
this, you would figure out all these different points, and then what happens to me? I lay there for a while.
Right, so then you get to lie down on this wonderfully warm massage table and you get to take a little nap.
What is it,
do
10
some
minutes? Is it
acupuncture.
15 minutes? How long
Usually
is the
about a half
session?
hour
Okay.
that you're lying there on the table, which is great because, you know, you have a little one, so you're getting interrupted a lot at home. It's like this one time where you get to just lie there, nobody's interrupting you.
Yeah.
You know, you get to just rest.
And it
It's
just
really
sounds like
fabulous.
a little bit more intensive work that I'm going to get acupuncture than I'm going to get a pedicure, which
Yes.
sounds a little more self-indulgent.
Acupuncture sounds so sciencey that the husband's like, absolutely, honey. Let me know what the results are.
So, Sandy, you also say that some of these muscle issues can be helpful, and I mean, anybody who's ever been feeding or nursing or diaper changing,
Right.
when you get that classic
hunch.
hunched over.
Right, and that's the big thing that I noticed having an infant was that I was always doing this. Like
Yeah.
I was always cradling him and like curling inward. I'm like, boy, why does my back hurt? Why does my neck hurt and my
Yeah.
shoulders? Well, it's because of that. So
Yeah.
obviously I had to learn not to, hold him that way.
Right.
I had to sit up a little bit more. But to relieve the muscle tension, there's some really, really great points in your neck that we can do. And so when you're pregnant, obviously we're not going to do these ones, but if you're not pregnant, these are great points to do. And then also along the upper back too can help to relieve all those muscles that are kind of like stretched out when you're curled in like this.
It is
that.
fascinating, though, the feeling like I feel relaxation through my arms because of these needles.
We should give you acupuncture every day during the show when you're beside me. It would just help you to just feel a little calmer when I freak out.
Yeah, that
And
would
a nice
be actually
balance.
maybe you should be getting the acupuncture.
I should get
so that you
acupuncture.
can ease up on the yelling and slamming
Wouldn't
of
that be
things.
nice? Thank you, Sandy. You can use promo code TCL when you book an appointment at Healing Insight. You can do that online, healinginsightonline.com. You can get $100 off of a 3-session introductory package for you or maybe for your mom. Appointments must be booked by May 17th. You can also call to schedule your appointment and get the same deal. We posted contact info at twincitieslive.com. A big thanks to Healing Insight for sponsoring the show.